Living young. Woo.
Let's
Guys,
go.
what's up?
Let's
It's
go.
420.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey,
Is it
my favorite
420
time
yet?
of the day. No, not quite.
It's
I know you
420 somewhere, sir.
Peter, it just says connecting for me. Trying to bring you up.
Can you hear me?
So I
It
can
is,
hear you.
sir.
It just says
I hear
connecting.
you.
So
There you go. That's weird.
there we go.
It's 420.
go.
How are you doing?
High
Hi,
rollers.
welcome.
Let's go, boys. What's up? Sorry.
Nothing to be
girl.
sorry about. Welcome.
How is
See,
everybody today?
I'm great. Hope you guys are great as well. We had our Alpha Tuesday yesterday. That was good. First time we had our Alpha Tuesday. We shared a bunch of plays. I don't know. I'm probably down bad on those I called, but let's see. Also, I've only checked the market once today. For a reason, I'm not.
Well,
going into detail.
the mint you called. Yeah, the mint you called for today.
Let's just
we can talk about that one
this.
later.
Let's just say this. Me and the team missed out on a bunch of Solana, probably like 300 to 500. So I just woke up, I checked it, I got super bad. Then I went to the gym, actually, and that was the best gym I've had in a long time. So now I'm all refreshed and ready to go, take over the world.
You got an 800 Solana workout in? Damn, I don't even want to know what that entails.
Dude, that was good. That was really good. Yeah, let's see.
I'd love to see it.
Sorry. What did you say, TK?
Oh, no, you're fine. Go ahead.
I said I've pinned the spaces above, so if let's get some people in here. Just tweet it out, retweet it, ping everyone. Just ping our Discord. Let's see, get them in here. I'm excited. So who's on the High Roller account? Who am I speaking to?
So this is Dr. Budwell. I'm the basically the lead tech. So Simon couldn't be here today. I think he has a previous commitment, but so I'm on the tech side.
He told me he had some house showing. I don't know what it is, but that's perfect. What do you say, Doctor?
Budwell. They just call me Budwell. You just call me Budwell.
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 And High Rollers.
That's right.
So
is that a nickname? Is that a nickname or your actual name?
Yeah, Budwell's a nickname.
Ah, right. Yeah, I get it. Budwell. Perfect. All right. Happy to have you. Awesome.
Yeah, we're excited to be
here. Can we start it?
Yeah, let's get this bad boy going, baby. Episode 61 with I have been hearing about you High Rollers since practically the day you came out, and I don't know how and I don't know why, but I am glad to have you here early.
And to celebrate episode 61, I've just wrote myself 6 joints. So I'm going to sit down and smoke them while we chat.
6 joints?
Yeah, so far.
There you go.
Oh my god, dude. All right. Let's shoot the intro. Wait, I gotta shoot the intro, guys.
Welcome. You are listening to The Pod, the best NFT podcast there will ever be. Let's start it.
Let's start it. Awesome. All right, let's go. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone. GN, good day, good night, wherever you are from. It's a wonderful Tuesday, and today we're joined by High Roller Club. We're going to talk about cannabis,
Wednesday.
Web3, and the entire culture. Wednesday. Sorry, what did I say?
Tuesday.
Sorry. I'm always one day behind. This place moves too fast for me. It's Wednesday. Welcome, guys. We're going to talk about cannabis and this culture we got here in Web3. As you know, I'm truly passionate about this. Maybe not, but I know it's a big thing, especially in the US. So I'm happy to discuss it with you guys and learn some more. This is probably the only time I'm going to tell you guys, but you'll never hear me say this again. Grab your thing, whatever you have, and take a hit. Let's get started. TK, have you been smoking today?
Well, I'm smoking right now, buddy.
I love it. High Roller, are you big smokers like the team?
So actually, it's funny. I actually don't. I don't smoke at all. My wife's a huge smoker though.
Leave.
25 tons, but not me. it just doesn't even me out. I guess I'm too hyper or something. I don't know what it is. Can't get any work done. So,
dude, that's good. That's good because I'm the same. I'm the same. It's the I guess the Simon of the guys are big. The founders of Big Smokers, right?
yeah. Well, so if you check out our website token.co, you'll see that we have a lot of guys in the industry. James, who is one of the C-suite guys at big. It's basically, well, it's Flora. You can look him up, but essentially, it's a really large cannabis company, and he is probably the second largest smoker I've ever met in my life. So he smokes a whole bunch.
Who's the first? I got to know the first now.
So
did you meet Snoop Dogg or Wiz?
No, so a guy I work with, he's a developer project manager, and he smokes. I mean, I think he smokes more than Snoop Dogg, in my opinion. Yeah. So
I'd like to meet this guy.
And I've met Snoop Dogg, but that's not here or there. The reality, though, is that, I mean, he probably churns through, I don't know, it's a lot. It's a lot of grams a day. So it's a lot. But he still gets his work done. He's the opposite of me. He still gets everything done. Whereas, if I partake, I'm not gonna get anything done. So
see, that's exactly how I am. I always tell people I've pretty much been high since 2013. So
that's where
there's some of us that are able to function with it all day, every day, and I've got buddies, give them one, and like they're curled up in a ball, eating everything in the refrigerator, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, you gotta be careful with those edibles. I got plenty of stories about those edibles and people at work where it's just a disaster.
I mean, same, but I have eaten packs and packs of it, and I think I just smoke so much. Like half of my blood is cannabis, and it just doesn't do anything for me. I've sat down with friends where they've eaten 2 out of a pack, and I've eaten the entire pack, and they're fucked, pardon my language, while I'm sober, and I have to sit there and smoke. So yeah, it's sad, but I've heard they're amazing.
I think we've all know someone with the edible story if we don't have that story ourselves. That's the thing with those. It's a life lesson. I know I still quote a saying to this day when I lived in Vegas. I had this edible. It's, you can always eat more, but you can never eat less.
That sounds like a good way to not gain weight.
Oh yeah,
but
I never thought about that way.
Feels like everyone in Web3, especially, like, I don't know if this is a Solana thing. I haven't been in the ETH culture for a long time, but there's a lot of smokers, like, always when you're in spaces. They have the wake and bake shows. They have all these different shows. I don't know. Is there something to it?
We've seen a lot of response. The response we've gotten in the soul space for sure seems to be there's a very large contingent of, cannabis users.
I wonder what goes into it. It would be fun to see some statistics. Like, maybe I should post a tweet.
Yeah, poll.
I'm gonna do it. It would be funny to see some like.
But you guys want me to break down the project real quick? What do you guys want me to do? It's your show.
We'll do it.
All right. Okay, so if I take a step back, High Rollers is kind of the NFT PFP that the company Token is launching. To explain kind of the whole thing, I need to kind of start there. And Token is the ultimate cannabis rewards platform. And so we've built an app and we've built a bunch of partnerships. We have about over 500 cannabis stores, dispensaries in Canada specifically on waitlist and signed up, contracted up. And essentially the way it works is you download an app and you can go to one of our partner dispensaries. And if you check in there, you'll get rewarded in our native token. And the way the NFTs work, and the reason why we launched the High Rollers Club, is that for the kind of power users and for users who don't necessarily live in a area where we'll eventually launch to or be, which is not eventually, it's be pretty fast. So we'll be in the US, we'll be in Europe, etc. But for those users who kind of want to participate in the ecosystem, they can maximize their rewards. So the High Rollers Club, every single one of them can, when you check in, if you have a High Rollers Club NFT or PFP, you'll get 5 times the amount of rewards for every check-in. and you'll get rewarded more for purchases, etc. But the other side of it is that Tokem is launching. We've partnered with multiple cannabis brands and dispensaries and suppliers, etc. And I'm sure you can kind of look through our kind of what we've already kind of put out to kind of track that down. I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to share on those levels, but I'm sure you can figure it out. But essentially, yeah, we're going to launch booster cards, which are also NFTs, and it's the same kind of concept there. There's games inside the app that have to do with earning discounts, and the simple fact is that HRC owners, when you own two HRC PFPs, every time we do a partner drop, you'll be able to mint a certain amount of them with the token that you earn passively through staking it in the app. So even
Quick
if you're not,
question.
go ahead.
So since you need two, is Whitelist going to be able to mint two?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yep. Yes, sir. And so I don't know what the whitelist top is. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe we'll have to ask Zen or one of the guys who were complete. But I'm not, Alpha can probably tell you for sure. But regardless, yeah, I mean that's the kind of steps. I mean it's pretty simple. We are testing. So we have a 40 store pilot going on next week. I think it launches Monday. The app's in beta right now. We've already basically we're pretty much finished. We're working on some of the admin panel things, and this will launch. This will go wide in November, and the mint for HRC will happen a couple weeks before that, or before that for sure. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. There's a lot more.
Nice.
But I don't want to, just talk forever. So,
Hey, how? Because this is interesting, and I've been having this kind of well, not ideas, just thought, that one of the uses for the Web2 is kind of these rewards, right? Just try to approach it at a slower pace and giving rewards that people can then move. It's a great way to reach massification. And how do you approach all these? Because you said like 500 stores. That's a lot, right? But it's a chain, or it's 500 individual stores. What did they say, right? Like, what is
so it's a
this
couple.
and NFT? Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's a really good question. I think the first thing is, so there's probably we partnered with a couple collectives that have hundreds of partner stores. So there's a really interesting reality when it comes to cannabis. It's a commoditized product, right? And there's a ton of regulation. So there's advertising regulation, and then there's production regulation, then there's selling regulation. I mean, it's just a crazy regulated, tight market, which we chose Canada first. We chose Canada first, not just because of our ties here with all of our partners and people on our board, etc., but it's legal in the whole country. And so instead of having to navigate state by state in the US, which we will do, we decided to kind of, because it's not federally legal, there's more loopholes to jump through, right? But we have, I think it's on a measure of like probably 45 different independent owners, and then a couple of different kind of bigger stores that I would say I wouldn't call them independent if they're over 20 stores, and there's a couple that have over 20 stores that are partnered with us. To be honest, 500 is actually kind of small. There's about 2,800 dispensaries in Canada alone. There's about 10,000 in North America. Our target number and saturation rate for the first year to make it kind of valuable to the owners, right, is in the partner dispensaries is no more than 30%, because this is a differentiation product for them, and it costs a pretty meager amount to them to be able to have access to and offer something kind of extra on top of what they're already doing. I think it's important to step back and remember, though, that these extra earn models, as you talk about rewards, the incentives are misaligned in most projects. And I'm not trying to throw slack to anybody here or kind of, kind of FUD anybody. But if you think about any X to earn model, the thing to earn needs to be valuable to someone, right? If, for example, you're paying somebody to you earn more if you run, for example, the running isn't valuable to anybody but the actual person running. Like, I don't care that you go run. Like, I think you said you went and worked out. I got nothing from that workout. None of us got anything from you working out. You did, right? It was very beneficial for you, but we didn't get anything from it. In this case, the dispensaries are actually willing to pay us to bring that to incentivize to get that customer there. And so we've kind of made it very sustainable in the sense that we're not going to sit there and be like, well, we're just dangling these rewards that have no A, use, but B, feed, right? It's just like, well, we're just going to run out, right? So the reality is that the stores are willing to supplement and incentivize these users to come through our application. And see, when I think it'll be week 2 when you'll be able to you'll be able to take the points and generate and purchase discounts straight away from dispensaries, and the dispensaries will say you'll get discounts just straight away for the points. You'll be able to start exchanging them and that's real dollars. And so, for example, for a user who doesn't smoke, who is generating a coin, you'll actually be able to put your coin up for sale inside our ecosystem. And when a user who uses our app goes to check out, this is probably 6 weeks after launch. We'll turn this on. But when a user goes to check out, and we'll ask them, hey, do you want to see if we can save you money? They'll say yes. And what essentially will happen is we'll automatically arbitrage users who want to gain SOL, USDC, whatever it is, from their token, right? And we automatically batch it, and we say, okay, well, this user will save 3% automatically, right, by paying for X amount of token coins that will then be credited to the dispensary. So everybody wins, right? The person kind of putting it out there, the person who's just clicking say, yes, I'd like to save some money, they save money, and the dispensary gets the sale. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty sustainable model. It's something we've focused on. But I think more importantly, going back to the heart of your question, is the rewards are a great way to incentivize and kind of, deal with NFTs and driving utility. But at the heart of that, though, that whatever you're rewarding needs to be wanted and valuable by someone. And in this case, it is by dispensaries.
Interesting. Awesome. Looks like you have a big market in the Web3 space. I just checked the poll here. It's 73% yes and 27% no. So you're in the right market, dude. Welcome, Vinji. Are you smoking weed, Vinji?
What happened?
Are you smoking weed?
Nah, I quit a long time ago, man.
Right. Perfect. So what do you think creates this connection between Web3 and cannabis?
Well, personally, I think, it's, we've been asked, why launch an NFT in this space, right? Why, if you're a business, right? We're in the middle of a Series A, by the way. We're not dependent on the cap raise in any way, because, well, it's a real business, right? And so we'll have revenue through a bunch of different streams. And really, we're not sitting there. It's not so much an NFT project as much as it is a company that's launching an NFT, a valuable NFT kind of niche. And I think what's interesting about a lot of that is when you sit there and say, why is the cannabis linked to Web3? I think it comes back to some of the reward stuff where we launched this because we see a kind of alignment of control when rewards. The problem we saw with reward platforms in general was the fact that, there's blackout dates, right? For airline miles, you can't transfer them, you can't trade them, you can't, they run out, they expire, all these problems, right? And Web3 in many cases solves a lot of this. If you tokenize the points, right, you can then, the user has a ton of control. but at the same time, you kind of want to gate it, right? You want levels to this reward program, and NFTs are a great way to gate certain rewards. And so now, not only can a user come in and purchase, an HRC and get benefits from it, but then if they decide to, like Vinji, decide to quit, they can sell it and still gain benefit from it, still have partaked in it, right? And then earn from it, and then not just be stuck with a card they're never going to want, right? Or this lifetime membership, whatever, and then earn from it. So, but I think there's a lot of alignment in, not to say like smoking is kind of a rebel thing, but I think controlling one's destiny. I think there's a lot of crossover in people who, the way people think, smokers, and Web3 people. I think there's a lot of ideological alignment there.
Yeah, for sure. It's both these markets, I guess, is kind of Wild West, right?
For sure.
And I know, like I've been speaking to some like when you speak to people in this space and everything, a lot of people got into just their first Bitcoin purchase was when they were buying weed, because in a lot of places,
Yep.
apart from the US, it's not legal. So then they buy to Bitcoin. So that's honestly, that could be a connection as well.
Yep.
Okay, what do you think?
Oh, on that, I mean, I don't know. I think it's because it's just a chill space. It's a chill environment. It's people from all around the world, and it's one of those things that just always kind of brought people together. Kind of how like the alcohol industry is getting into Web3 now. I've talked to multiple projects either doing like a whiskey or things like that, and seeing the cannabis world involved. I mean, because everyone has their poison or means of relaxation, whatever one end of the spectrum wants to call it. So I mean,
Poison. That's a good one.
yeah, well, to each their own, right? But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But which kind of led me. So why are you guys building this in Web3?
Well, really, just because of control, right? So more control, trying to give the end user, more control of their rewards and of their kind of participation in the product. I think that's one. I think when we pulled the reward, we came up with this. We've been building this since April, and when we kind of this all came to fruition, we were like, well, wait a second, what are some of the biggest problems? And one of the biggest problems was advertising and what dispensaries can advertise legally, and the incentivization model. So there's legal problems with advertising certain things, trying to incentivize purchases in certain areas. So you have to kind of be flexible there. That's why there's the check-in. You don't even have to smoke. You don't even have to buy to get the reward. You just have to go and check in. So you can go and check in and leave. And so this kind of gives users more control. But then on the other side of it as well, if by tokenizing the rewards and by gating it with NFTs, we once again give the users complete autonomy to be able to transfer, sell, move, exchange what they earn inside our platform.
Okay. But then what do you guys want to get out of it? What is your guys' end goal?
Well, I think
the high rollers.
So I think the biggest it's not the cap raise as much as it is the marketing and alignment to the value of building a community that's valuable, and kind of taking the marching orders of like saying, hey, let's go and tell the world about this, right? Because ultimately marketing really matters. And in this case, as we kind of hope to onboard hundreds of thousands, if not millions of users into Web3, who are cannabis users, we want and recognize that there's people in a community and in a platform, et cetera, that are power users, and those users should benefit more by carrying the torch, by being the loudest on the megaphones, essentially. And so it's kind of a symbiotic relationship in that way, as what we get out of it is, pushing forward the brand, pushing forward the application. They get rewarded as we grow.
Are you guys going to have like a leaderboard or anything
the
points by that?
100%. So we actually
you're
have.
Going to be on top.
Yeah. So you'll have username control. Obviously, you'll get to decide how to display it. Of course, every account, it automatically gets a sole address and all these functions. But not only will we have a leaderboard for check-ins, area-based, and tournaments around that, by the way, we'll actually incentivize check-ins and purchasing, all these other things. The bud tenders are also going to have leaderboards. So as they onboard people, right? So because one of the questions we've gotten, I think in the past, is like, hey, these booster cards, like who wants to buy these booster cards? And I think people forget, because we get caught up. We're all Web3 people. I've been in crypto since 2014. Okay, I know the game, been around. I've been a part of a lot of projects. It's just part of it, and we kind of view it. I think we got asked, like, why would somebody buy this booster card? And it's like, well, I mean, you're thinking of it as, well, I need passive rewards, I need this, I need that. It's like there's a lot of people who buy, just straight up cannabis related virtual goods. We actually have a partner who does it, and all they do is sell virtual goods. Meaning, I'm talking about stuff that doesn't get you anything. It's just like cool. They like have it on their phone, and they're a decent sized revenue company. And I mean, ultimately, it comes down to us onboarding new users with these partner drops that are really kind of neat. The brands love it. Every brand we've talked to, and we've talked to almost 15 now. I think it's 12. We've partnered. We've got paper with 4 of them, and they're asking, hey, we want it now. Like, we want to be able to do a drop right now, because they have, even if our biggest partner is I wouldn't call it paraphernalia, but they're kind of like a style brand. They have really nice vapes, really nice kits, really nice grinders, all these things, right? And they're dying to kind of sell a combination thing where it's like, hey, we're going to sell this NFT and then drop or airmail, this to, or these packs or these boxes to these buyers, etc. And so it's just a whole big, the more users we can get and the more users we can reward, the bigger our reach is, and the easier it is for us to reward those users, because we'll just be bringing in bigger and bigger brands that want to kind of introduce their product, right, and then push their high volume stuff. Because remember, it's commodity in most cases.
I love it. Is your guys' white paper and roadmap and all that stuff done yet in public?
So it's not public. It's definitely done, but I'm not the guy who chooses to make it public or not. But it's done. I think it was public for a while on the website, but I don't think anybody noticed. And then we were told that it wasn't supposed to be public yet. So, but I mean, in terms of roadmap, I'll just cover it just real quick. I mean, once again, the Apple launch open to everybody in early November. The mint will happen before that, so I don't have an exact date, and I can't share the mint price yet, but I think it's pretty reasonable. And I think when we go, the biggest dates are, so in December we will be doing our first partner drop. So HRC will be self-minting a select amount that'll be up for grabs, and then so there'll be kind of a rev share event, whatever you want to call it. It's not rev sharing, but it's like liquidity gain event, whatever you want to call it. And then in January we plan on being in Rails, and so kind of what I mean by that is payment rails, and so the app will kind of transform into even more options, gaming side of things, all sorts of stuff. So
Nice.
Do you know when you guys are minting yet? Because it sounds like you've already got the next at least 3-4 months planned out.
Yeah, so I mean, mint's happening pretty soon. I think it's happening at the end of this month. I think pre-sale is starting very soon.
Okay, and do you know about how much that's going to be though?
Allocation wise?
No, about how much the mint and everything's going to be. Have you guys disclosed that?
No, we haven't disclosed it yet. I know that's super annoying. I don't know why. We just don't tell everybody, but I guess there's a certain contingent that is more excited about a higher number, and then there's certain contingents more excited about a lower number. I don't know. I mean, there's some reason why everybody does this. I'm not sure. I'm not the guy to ask, though, I guess. Because to me, I think if you're a reasonable price, like we, in my opinion, are, I think you would just tell everybody and be like, okay, this is what it is. So,
Right.
Nice. I have a question. Like, we have all these products. We have a lot of weed products. I think Stone Ape, they also have a currency, right? You think you can even pay with
They
their
do.
currency in? I
Puff.
think you can pay with, yeah, Puff. You can pay with that in
Yes, you
stores,
can.
right?
Yep,
Kinda cool.
absolutely.
That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. So this, it looks like we're gonna keep paying with crypto for weed. We talked about the token, right? And we know how to earn token. TK is gonna earn a lot of token. Can we dive into like how do I spend my token?
Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be three ways that you can kind of leverage the tokens. The first way is to do self minting of the booster cards, right? And then you'll be rewarded you'll burn token to mint their cards, and then you'll list the cards essentially, and that'll be through us. So like it'll kind of be almost like an OTC deal. You won't be like, oh, they'll be essentially like going into the mint. You'll know exactly what each card's going to be worth essentially, because a dispensary is basically going to buy that card from you and then sell that card to a consumer. So that's the first way. The second way is there will be a liquidity pool. We have liquidity incentives spun up and ready to kind of do that. And then the third way, which I think will be the most common way people kind of either spend, is basically through discount purchasing. So a bunch of our partners, dispensaries, well, they get to kind of set their discount tolerance. So essentially, but we already have, I think about 40% are willing to completely take that, just do 100% transfer. But most will be done in discount purchasing, kind of where it's like, oh, okay, you want to buy 40%, you want to save 40% on this $200 deal, it's X. So.
Nice. All right. TK, you're gonna earn this token a lot, so good for you. Perfect.
But you said it's only in Canada to start off, right?
Well, so we're actually in talks with I don't know where everybody is, but we're in talks with a European group that wants to take over the entire division. It's part of our Series A, which is going to close at the end of this month. And I mean, they're actually, it's funny because we had a call with them yesterday or 2 days ago, and they're already onboarding stores without our permission. So I mean, it'll be very fast. The pilot is 100% taking place in just Canada, but when we go wide, it will be we'll be moving to nearly every market very fast.
How difficult is it for the states? Because that's where I'm at. I know each one of our states has a different rules and regulations, and I know we're probably a big pain in the ass for you.
What's super cool about the application approach is that every state, the whole entire application is based off of geolocation, right? So you're regulated by where you are in the jurisdiction that you're in. So by the application being heavy on location-based metrics, we actually partner the app to every single like regulatory environment that it's located in. So for example, in Newfoundland, in Canada versus Ontario, you can't directly incentivize purchasing in Newfoundland, but you can in Ontario. So in the app, you can't get rewarded for purchases, but you can't get rewarded for check-ins. But in Ontario, in the app, because you're in Ontario, you can get rewarded for purchases. So in the same sense here, it's not going to be too difficult for us to have this sliding scale that says this is what we're allowed to do in each state. Obviously, it's a little bit more coding, but we built it in a manner that is going to make it pretty easy. It really just comes down to manpower, right? I mean, it doesn't matter, and it comes down to scale. We could sit here and be like, well, let's launch into every single state and try to launch with like 4,000 dispensaries, right? But the reality is like it's probably better for our product control. It's probably better for our end users to make sure that we scale in a responsible manner, if that makes sense.
Oh, for sure. I know here in the States, it's for all of these cannabis companies coming in. I mean, even all the security companies, the rev share companies in the States, our laws are what one would call a royal pain in the ass.
Yep.
So
well, because we're not selling, and that's another portion of this, right? Because we're not directly selling weed, we aren't regulated the same way they are. And so that's part of the inherent advantage that we've kind of gained by, and one of the reasons why many dispensaries are in love. Like we don't have to sell, like this is a 10-minute conversation with a dispensary, that has 20 and they're, I think we bat 80, I think we're over 80% committed rate, right? So if we talk to somebody, it's an 80% chance they're going to sign up. And
so since it's medically legal here and I do it legally, once your app's up and running, are you going to have a section for like, I don't know, NFT holders to submit for places you guys to get a hold of, since it's essentially getting their app in?
Yep, absolutely. So when there's going to be 3 stages of the app, we're in V1 right now. V2 will start in November, but in V3, which will probably come in December, we're going to, and that's all dependent on our scale. In our internal scale right now, we're a team of like I think 14, which is pretty big. But as we grow and prepare for that kind of market takeover, we will open up the app to the point where I think like we're going to call it, this is completely new, so I'm going to drop a little alpha here for you, I guess. But basically, all the NFT owners will be able to go and do self check-in at stores that are not a part of the network. And that will act as a vote. So you'll actually get rewarded for that. So no one will have to scan. You'll just have to like geo go there, right? And it'll be a much smaller amount than what you're used to getting. But basically the idea is we're going to add the entire Rolodex of every single store, regardless of them being token or not. If they're not a token partner, you won't make nearly as much, right? It'll be a very, very small amount. But then by that, you'll also be able to request. It'll be like, hey, I want you to kind of reach out to this store. And then to the point of that going, actually, we'll probably do an affiliate system where, you as a user can talk to the bud tender and be like, hey man, if you sign up, I'll get this and you'll get this and I'll get your store, whatever X amount of token. And so you can be kind of a little bit of a salesman too. Because the reality is it's not just about, the 4,000 dispensaries in the markets that we are in or at that point, right? We want it to be a pretty global, operation. And so, there's people in Australia, there's people in Thailand, there's all over the place, right? And so, and even in China, we have a plan there. We're actually going to be into tobacco shops. So it's not just it doesn't have to always be weed, right? Because weed will never be legal in China, obviously. But the amount of smoking in China is nutso when it comes to tobacco. So
did you mention gamifying it? Kind of like what comes to my mind is like Pokemon Go. When you go into a place, like you check 100%. In or you spin it, and then you get your coins, your tokens, your experience, or whatever.
100%. So we actually have a game already. It's called Toke Don't Choke, and essentially it's a dude who's sitting there with a bong, and you light up the bong, right? And you take a hit, and as you're taking a hit, your discount goes up. And so you basically purchase a ticket, right, to play. You get a go, right? And you can earn with that ticket an extra amount of discount, a higher discount than you would have otherwise. And so what happens is if you get too greedy and push it too hard, try to take a epic long bong hit, basically you choke and you only get 5% off. But if you stop, let's say 15 seconds in, you get 15% off. And so it's a really fun little 25-second game. But in our testing, we've seen amazing results, right? I mean, just unreal results because it's super.
Is that an app store game?
Yeah, so it's actually in our app. So you'll literally it'll be based off of every dispensary. And so you'll when you're at a dispensary, you'll be able to go and see store offers, and one of those offers will be, "Hey, you want to buy a ticket to play Toke Don't Choke here? This is what's up for grabs." Boom, boom, and you'll be able to hit it right there, right in the dispensary. And if you win 20% off, you'll be able to just you pop over, say spin the code, they scan it, boom, enter it in, boom, you get 20% off.
And
So
when is this expected to be out?
So that'll be in V2 and the rollout in November. Toke Don't Choke will be in every partner dispensary we haven't found one that doesn't want it. So we're testing in 40 right now. We launch next week, and they all love it because it gives the bud tenders, the ability to kind of be like, hey, there's a game you can play, et cetera. And the bud tenders, we're big allies. I don't know if you guys know the phrase bud tenders, but it's essentially, a bartender, but a bud tender. You give you your bud. So we are like really cognizant of the fact that the bud tenders are kind of like our first line of advertisement to your standard consumer. And so we've set up a really nice reward program for them to push the NFTs, to push the High Roller Club for power users, and to push app usage and adoption. So as that being kind of the first line, they're going to be some of the loudest proponents because we're going to incentivize them to do so.
It's going to be your best line. Those are the people talking to the customers right there at the window, at the door, the counter.
Absolutely.
Genius.
And so we've seen a lot of the bud tenders are super excited because nearly every bud tender smokes, right? But also that means they're going to make more money when they check in. When they show up, they're making a little bit of token. When they check other users in, they're earning a little bit of the affiliate because we want them to make sure that they're engaging with every customer. And so this puts us in front of every single user who comes into the dispensary, essentially. And we incentivize those guys to carry that brand HRC token all the way to those users. And so, I think people asked what will be we don't know what our clip will be, but we think it's going to be pretty good. We think we're going to be able to add, per store, an average. I think we're going to get an adoption rate of 20%. And we think that's pretty realistic.
Really?
Yeah.
How big is this market? We talked a little bit earlier about the weed market in Canada and USA. Like, how big is this market?
So there's 4 million weekly smokers in Canada alone. Canada's not very big, but there's 4 million weed smokers in Canada. And then in the United States, it's closer to 25 million that are doing it legally, and closer to 55 million that are doing it illegally. What's crazy about, and the same goes for Europe. The Swiss partners that we have are just nuts. So like they love the NFT stuff. Like we're sitting there trying to partner with these brands, and the Swiss guys, I'm telling you, when I say they already onboarded dispensaries without our permission, they did. They were like, oh, okay, the app's coming. like they went out and did it without even being on paper with us. And so I don't know the market. I don't know the global cannabis market numbers, but it's huge. It's growing every day. It's one of the fastest growing industries in the world. So, but I think
how many states in the US is legal now, doing it?
What's that?
How many states in the US is?
I think it's like almost 14 now. It's 14.
So I think it's like 14 or fully legal, and
so you got
30 or some have medical.
Yeah, I could go down a lot in the West, a whole bunch in the West, basically the entire West, and then Colorado, Oklahoma, New Mexico,
Ohio.
Michigan,
Connecticut. It's a lot, Adam. It's probably now over 50% have medical, and probably 20-30% are fully recreational. But it's been moving and passing rapidly.
I think that's very accurate. I think your numbers are probably a little low. I think that's very close, though. Yeah, I think that's
probably
really close.
Probably. Yeah,
but it's significant.
10 years, I would be surprised if. It's good seeing people in it now because, just like you said, it is the largest growing field in anywhere from NFTs to actual cannabis to. It's amazing.
Well, so and that goes back to people talk about, we've had the discussion because when we talked about NFTs, we didn't actually start with PFP, right? Because we were like, this market's way too big for us to just offer 10,000 and that be it. Like that can't be it. Like we need, we expect to have 2 million customers at minimum. You know what I mean? And if 10% of our customers want to be power users and NFT owners, well, we need 200,000 NFTs to give them. So that's part of, the concept, right? Is that the booster cards are kind of the kind of simpler outreach to normal users, right? Who aren't NFT degens like we are, where we're like sitting here like, oh, this is this is awesome. I'm going to tell everybody about it. But at the same time, there's a whole bunch of people who know about it, who will very more than likely buy their very first NFT from us and from something that the HRC minted.
Where are those numbers coming from, and what type of people are you referring to?
We're just talking about regular cannabis users. I mean, cannabis users who enter our ecosystem in our app. So, I mean, everyone will be advertised to. And once again, we're going to be incentivizing the bud tenders to close sales on that, right? So they can maximize their earnings as well, right? So they'd be like, hey, they're doing a drop, etc. Right? So we're doing a daily deal drop. So one of the primary partner benefits of a dispensary long term is that they'll be able to build out daily deals that are geographical based. And one of the daily deals is like, in NFT drops. So kind of like what'll happen is that they will partner NFTs with like NFT booster cards with weed that they necessarily, that hasn't been moving, right? So like, let's say they just haven't been selling like OG Kush, right? And they want to move it. They got all this product. Well, they're going to be able to partner an NFT drop with that sale. So even people who don't necessarily like just want to buy an NFT card will be buying NFT cards because of like they want the deal. So, but the numbers in terms of 2 million users, I mean, that's our target acquisition after a year and a half. So we want to have 2 million users after 18 months. That's our target onboarding.
Wow.
So big plans.
Yeah, real big plans, Adam. I've been hearing 3 months, year and a half, 2 years. And you mentioned a pre-sale. I've noticed there's been a lot of projects doing that. Do you know the percent you guys are going to pre-sale yet?
I'm not 100% sure I'm supposed to say it, but I'm going to say it anyhow because I don't care. The number is 30%. We're going to pre-sale 30%.
Beautiful.
I think we ran a giveaway for whitelisting the pod as well. It was Billy from Sky Collective that told me. Like it was one of the founders, I think, have a previous project, right?
I don't know. Alpha's here. He can probably tell me that I just did.
I don't know. I don't know. He was
like, you're not supposed to say that out loud. You're not supposed to say that.
I listened to Billy. Billy, he's a good guy, and he told me that I should get in on this. So I didn't. I did twice. It was the first day. I think you had your Twitter up.
We're really excited about the art. I think the art's really strong. We think the PFP collection is going to be really strong. We're devoted to making sure that the value. I mean, we've been in space. We've been doing this a lot. The NFT space is different than crypto. It just is. It's not the same. Like it's way more inclusive. It's way less predatory. Well, maybe like cannibalism, not predatory. Maybe there is some predatory kind of practices going on where people just don't, they use it as a means to raise, and we've seen some nasty rugs, things like that. But I think ultimately though, that's one of the reasons that drew us into, solidifying the deal with us saying, okay, we're going to push into this, and we think NFTs are here to stay in the right medium. And this is 100%, I have no doubt, the right medium, because the reality is that I still have right now, there's a place, it's like a burrito shop, not far from me. And they're big. I don't know if you guys know what it is. It's Freebirds, and it's a burrito shop in America. And I shit you not, a punch card for them, right? To track my free burrito. So if I go in there, I give them the card, they punch it, and then if I get enough punches, I get the burrito. And I'm not joking, that's how it works. And so, this idea of digital tracking of goods and commoditizing that to the point where, okay, this is a use case that makes drastic sense in terms of transparency, openness, and fairness when it comes to the reward tracking and benefit of use. The mixture between Web3 and Web2, which is kind of where we are, right? This like centralized product where decentralized products are engaging with, using, and leveraging centralized products, which is token, right? So, yeah, I'm probably talking too much. Sorry.
No, you're good. Because Adam and I, we talked to, I don't know, 25 projects a week here. And a lot of them have been cannabis. And I don't say this very often, but I mean, I would max mint from what I've heard and what I've looked into since the day I heard about you guys. I'm interested in your pre-sale. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, because what you guys are doing, I haven't heard of anybody else doing what this is. And I am extremely fascinated. I want to thank you for coming on and telling us
It's
about
super
this,
interesting.
because I've been excited, man. I've really been excited.
Well, good. I mean,
You-
we're
you-
excited too.
You pushed me farther today.
I think it's good. I think ultimately too, it's interesting. Last night we were asked a question on a space about, is anyone else doing this specifically? And I'm not sure about the reward, rewarding for check-in. I don't know everything that's going on in the universe, so I don't know. But what I do know is that there's definitely not a company that has figured out a way to where you can earn rewards cross brands and leverage those rewards at multiple brand houses, essentially. So right now we have over, I think it's 13 separate siloed brands in our token network that are in the beta, right? So there's like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but whatever, We Store, and then there's I don't know what's the other big one, Atlantic Cultivation. They're partners with us. They're in our beta, right? And they're you can actually go check in at a Atlantic Cultivation, buy weed there, earn token there, then go to a We Store and use the token that you earned by buying over there to get a discount at We Store. And that's not happening anywhere else. No one else is doing that. And don't
I haven't
forget,
seen it.
somebody's sitting there saying, I think somebody said, well, wait a second, didn't that mean that they're not retaining that customer? It's like the reality is that there's a bunch of different levels of users, right? That's not everybody is the same. Our motivations aren't the same. And so in this case, with cannabis, there's really 3 different types of users, but you got your consistent one, right? Who's coming in every single, week or whatever, who smokes, they want what they want. That's what they're getting. They're going to get it and move on, right? And they love the idea of a program where it's like, I'm going to go to the same store and I'm going to get rewarded. You're going to save me money. Okay, I'm in, right? That's the first guy. Then you got the second guy who is he's going to come in even more, but he's kind of feeling it around. He wants to know the different stuff. He's going to partake in the deals, right? He's going to try some different things, and he's still in with the reward program because he's a more conscious user. He's more active. But then you got the crazy guy, right? Who I don't know who in this chat is someone probably crazy guy, and he's the guy who, when he travels, he will try different strains. He'll try different stuff. He'll go all sorts of places, and he'll use this app to figure out where to go. I mean, ultimately, that's one of those users where it's like, well, I do have reward points, but when I go and travel, and when I'm at these different places, I'm not going to go to the non-token one, right? I'm going to go and get a couple more dollars saved and check in and get more things here, and then be able to take those rewards back home with me. And so, I mean, there's a huge advantage that we have over most reward programs that are siloed by brand.
So, question about the art. It looks a lot like Ape on ETH. Have you heard that before?
No, I have not. I don't know much about that. But I mean, I'm sure Alpha might be able to kind of comment on that. I'm not necessarily the most ventured NFT art purveyor, but
that was the first thing that that's what I thought it was, honestly.
What was the project?
Hape, HAPE.
Hape. I don't know. I mean, I think our art's pretty unique, but that's from what I've seen. I think ultimately, I think I'm pretty. Is it cannabis related?
No, it is a clothing line brand. It was just the artwork was the only thing
Oh, okay.
that
Yeah.
resembled it to me. It was go ahead, Alpha. What's up?
Yo, what's up, boys?
What's up?
How's it going? Just heard your comment there, so I just want to hop in. The artist and I were discussing that. Someone mentioned that to him, so I took a look at it after, and I mean, yeah, like I understand where that comes from because I mean, both 3D apes. But I think it's kind of just like the clothing, like the attire, and kind of the art direction we went after was just kind of like making them look like apes wearing stuff that like someone in their mid-20s might be wearing every day. Just kind of like cool clothes is what we're going after. So I mean I noticed they were kind of doing the same thing. They have some like it's funny actually. Bape is like totally like a Bape ripoff, like the clothing brand Bape. Like, and they like even use some of like Bape
Right.
clothing.
Mhm.
So, anyways, I don't think our artist
I
was
love
even
the
aware
art
of it
personally.
beforehand. So, but yeah, I mean, look, I'll pin kind of both, and we can show the audience and stuff. But
Yeah,
what's their Twitter?
like it's definitely different on Lana. Like there's nothing like that, and like seeing it from there, I was like, oh man, this is dope. Because it reminds me a lot when Primates first came over. Like I think when that art hits, if that's the final or even close to what you guys are doing, like I think that shit's gonna bang.
Nice, respect, thanks, man. Yeah, our artist Zen is an all-star, bro. He's been killing it, working really hard, and so I've been helping him kind of lock in good trades and clothing and everything. So I appreciate that. So can you tell me the Pape Twitter?
Their Twitter.
Do you know it? I can't find it.
1 second.
I think it's Hate Prime. Maybe
It's Hate Prime. Yeah, Hate. Yeah. I think it's Hate Prime would be their actual.
These guys look goofy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the metallic. So actually kind of like just as walking through the lore in our heads at the beginning was it's like, oh, these are robotic, right? And I think that's where the metallic kind of comes from, is in the kind of lit up eyes and things like that, where these are actually kind of and if you look at the hands in the trailer, that I think most of the textures are going to be pretty drastically different. But I mean, from the standard, I mean, it's a PFB, it's an ape, and it's 3D. So I agree with Alpha that yeah, I mean, if you look at it quickly, I think there's
I mean, like you said, they're apes. I mean, they're all, but they're still badass apes. I wasn't saying it because
sure, no, totally fair, totally fair.
I'm looking at the pinned tweet there. It caught my attention.
Yeah, you had some sick videos as well. I've seen that. I think I complimented Simon on your videos. I've been working hard on those.
Yeah, I mean, Zen and the guys are just outstanding. There's more to come. There's going to be more. It's already rigged up. Some of the gaming side of things are going to be an integrated part. So I don't know if I want to drop that alpha yet or not, but the reality is that the PFP will kind of ultimately have more kind of like prominence in the app. And if you have a PFP, you'll actually end up having access to certain games and discount games and things like that other users won't. So to try to make sure that those power users will want to enter into a pretty expensive and exclusive club, right? Because ultimately, I mean, this is going to be kind of expensive for 10,000 users, right? And that's okay, right? Because there'll be a smaller way to enter into the club, into the I can earn more and benefit from this reward platform. But if I want to be, one of the guys, there's another pool of people who are like, find this. And once again, this is where, I'll give you credit for the leaderboards. There's a lot of people who don't understand the power of leaderboards. I'll tell you right now, as a person who's been in software development and gamification for 8.5 years now, it is one of the most powerful user motivators that you can deploy, period, is leaderboards. And I don't even mean like incentivize leaderboards. I just mean putting up a leaderboard that shows everybody in the list and then that you're like 800th and everyone else is up here. It motivates people to either A, join, or B, do more. So,
We're competitive by nature. So take full
absolutely.
advantage of it. And going back, I was flipping back and forth between the tweets. I think it's just the dope clothes. I think that's what made me think of Hate Prime, because there's a lot of attention, because I went into the Discord on the sneak peeks, and like I think it's just the clothing. Like there's not as much to the detail. And like, if you look at all the PFPs here, like the 3D clothing on those, it's just different. It just stands out way more like that one does.
There isn't a lot of 3D products. Or the DJ Nates, I mean, there, otherwise there isn't a lot. So cool to see some new.
Yeah, that's dope. I appreciate the compliments on the clothing, man. We're definitely just, I mean, unique is what we're after for sure. And somehow people aren't really using like a lot of like popular clothing. Like they're just kind of like using a lot of goofy style clothing and stuff. So we made sure we threw in some stuff that's more fun and just like kind of funny, crack you up or whatever. But most of the stuff we're trying to go with is stuff that like you'd see on a rapper or like a musician or just, you know, someone that's more into fashion and stuff. So yeah, and our artist is from the UK, so there's some like UK touches in there and stuff like that. And also, yeah, appreciate the compliments on the trailers too. He's a great video effects artist. He's worked with like really big brands in the past, so we're stoked to have him be able to do both, and kind of brings the 3D NFT kind of 3D character to life. Like naturally, like you see them moving in a trailer, like it's kind of exciting. So
that carbon fiber skin that dropped today is sick. I haven't seen that. That's so good looking. Oh my goodness.
Shit, the poll results is in. There's 68% of the P space is smokers. That's crazy. So we got some market to touch on that.
Excellent.
Perfect. Kobe, welcome, Kobe. How are you doing? I didn't see you.
Oh yeah, I'm doing good.
Welcome.
Hurts a little bit, but yeah, I'm quietly listening to the High Rollers Club. Don't have any particular questions yet, but I will in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we have more questions? We've been going on for some time here. It's been great talking a lot. Just general, like I like to talk some general market stuff as well. I feel like I know more about this industry than I did when I joined here. That's the goal.
I've got a question for Alpha. What are you most looking forward to? What's got you the most excited about what you guys are doing?
Well, I think the staking rewards are going to get juicy, man. So that's kind of like where I'm pretty excited for our holders in that sense. But I think like the most fun I've had so far working on this has just been kind of creative and art and working with the artists, just like designing all these traits that we were just talking about and creating the trailers and stuff. So putting like a nice visual touch is something I'm pretty excited about. Like the trailers, I've seen a few projects do like some cool trailers, but not many. So that I was really excited to work on with our artist Zen. But yeah, just in general, I want to see the app get growth and people really start to use the app down the line. Of course, like that's really the main goal. So once that kind of like comes into fruition, the benefits will be real nice at the end of the day for everyone who has an HRC. And I want to kind of touch on
You're
something else.
echoing a little bit through. There's some background coming through HRC.
Oh, my bad.
No worries.
But well, can we talk about? Actually, I guess not. But kind of like the future rewards platform, like we're kind of some of the other stuff we're thinking, or maybe keep that under wraps. What do you think?
What are we talking? I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
No worries. Well, just kind of some of the other stuff we're going to lead back into HRC down the line that hasn't been announced. I guess we'll save that. But anyways, yeah, just, working with a solid team. It's been a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think I don't know if you're talking about this or not, but the brand partners and the partner drops with the brands, I think is going to be insane. Like I think they're going to sell out in seconds, not even minutes. Like it's going to be, because I think people don't understand or have it's hard to understand unless you're directly in the industry how much competition there is for to get your name out there and what they'll do in terms of like, I mean, every brand we've talked to wants in, and it's because they know how valuable capturing a customer is. I think that's something people ultimately misunderstand is like how valuable a single cannabis customer is. A single cannabis customer is worth anywhere between $800 to $2,400 in revenue a year, right? I mean, that's a ton of money. And not only that, they're likely to come back and they're likely to be your customer for 5 years. So to capture them and retain them is incredibly valuable. And so it's the same thing on the brand side as somebody who, if it's these papers, or if it's this this specific bong, or if this specific vape, or these carts, like these brands are willing to give a lot of stuff to try to generate buzz around their products, new products, existing core products. And so all of that goes into us being, mixing it in with the NFTs and the drops, et cetera. And I think, it'll just be, I think hopefully it's the only thing that worries me about it is the user experience, to make sure that it's not a bad one because so many people are waiting in line for it.
Yeah, you guys got some hype as well. Keep dropping these videos. They are sick. I need to have a call with Simon, because I'm happy if someone even says good morning in the pod. But also, we don't have any NFT projects, so I guess there's not that incentive. But also, guys, anything else? I don't know. The COVID, did you come up with some questions? I don't have any more questions.
No, you guys.
No, I don't want to ask any questions which are not specific or do not educate us as a community, because I don't smoke weed. I have never smoked weed. I don't know anything about it. The only questions I had was the marketing side or the roadmap and the utility, but as I was listening, they answered most of my questions, and the rest of the questions are mainly just asking what, but that doesn't really educate the rest of the listeners, since most of them actually smoke weed. Thank you. You shall continue.
What did you mean? The people that smoke weed don't get educated? Because I agree with that.
I have one. So you said in China you're going to be targeting tobacco. Why not target tobacco everywhere else as well? Or are you?
Oh, I'm definitely on mute there. Sorry. Yeah. So 100%, it's going to be, that's a global ad. 100%. So you'll be able to toggle tobacco stores on the map, etc. It'll be a global ad. So it's just not, I think I don't want to divert focus from, there's no question that we're a cannabis rewards platform, right? But at the same time, we recognize that there's growth potential in markets that matter, right? And tobacco's a massive market as well. And it's definitely something we're not, it's same thing with cigar market. So we understand there's a little bit of a pivot, because tobacco, you can be pretty young. The cigar smokers aren't necessarily Web3 inclined like weed smokers might be, given the age demographics, etc. But there's no reason for us not to partner with those stores and brands if they want in, right? And that's ultimately something we're committed to, not just exploring, but putting significant effort into as we scale. Because, I mean, ultimately, yes, there is a cap to every market, but if you can break into an entirely new, diverse market with the same exact system and network, but instead of cannabis, it's tobacco, why not? Why wouldn't we do that?
So kind of tailing off that, instead of just dispensaries, what about smoke shops?
Yeah. So there's going to be 4 different classifications. Right now, there already is 4 different classifications in the app, which is vape shops, tobacco shops, cigar shops, and dispensaries. So you'll be able to kind of sort through. I mean, ultimately, not right now. Obviously, all we're going to list is dispensaries for now, but you'll be able to. It's all geo, located, and you'll be able to be like, oh, what's near me here? I want to see cannabis. I want to see tobacco. I want to see X. So.
I want to see this app out. That's what I want. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it, man.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with the. I don't know if Alpha Hat is in on the thing, where we're about to pull all of the entire team is about to be on the beta and start, checking each other in.
Beautiful. Well, if there's no more questions, is there anything you feel like we missed, or anything you want to tell everyone, because it's going out on our 12 different podcast platforms? For those still here, the floor is yours. Tell us anything we missed, anything you want the world to know.
I think I said a lot, probably some stuff I'm not supposed to, but ultimately, I think we're excited about the project because of the reception we've gotten from vendors, partners, brand partners, dispensaries, etc., and then from the community. And we think, I mean, I've built a lot of software over the years, and the coolest part about building software is getting user feedback that's actually really good, right? And being like, hey, you actually make something cool. And I think it's really fun to be part of that project, and to also be in a Web3 space where we're offering kind of an HRC in completeness, where it's like you can actually also be part of that project and kind of have some level of ownership in it and some level of control. And I think it's a really neat time to be in business and to be in this kind of business where it's where the user and the owner are in a more symbiotic relationship, where it's not like we're just trying to take advantage of you. You know what I mean? There's so many industries now where it seems like they're very predatorial, very, very kind of taking advantage, they're just taking advantage of the users. And instead of, because we're a rewards platform, we're all about the users. And so it's really exciting to be that, because that's a fun thing to build. It's been fun to build. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to continue to build out. And so I think a lot of people are going to have fun using it, and I'm excited for it, and I hope you guys are too.
Perfect. All right, Kobe, did you have a question?
No, because most of the people who listen to the space afterwards usually listen to the last 5 minutes when they get tired. So I wanted him to have a 3 to 4 sentence summary of the project and maybe a shout out he wants to make. But he summarized it very well, so that's not required anymore of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you, Kobe. Yeah, good stuff. I've had a great time here today. Looking forward to see you guys take over the cannabis market. Let's see. I know there was a proposal, right, to make it legal in the entire US, wasn't there?
There's multiple proposals. I think multiple stuff pending, but I agree with, I think it was TK who said it earlier. I think it's still years away from federal legality, but the next presidential election will probably be a hotbed for this, for sure. They need to stop putting people in jail for smoking weed. They need to stop that immediately. So
Amen.
On God.
Perfect. Yes. All right. That's kind of it. Thank you guys so much, Volvo and Alpha, for coming on. This has been great. Thank you to all the speakers, everyone listening.
Good stuff.
Tomorrow we're gonna have Beyond Clouds and Elevate Studios. We're gonna talk some NFT art. I know that Elevate has some sick 3D art. I'm gonna push him. He doesn't want to share how he makes the art, so I'm gonna push him, see if we can get it out of him. And then Friday we have B-Cats. We're gonna talk to them, ask how to get all these ladies to buy their, because I'm curious about that. Awesome. But before that, tonight also we're gonna have a Fortnite tournament, the pod versus Tokyo Saints. So anyone that has that game downloaded, I can tell you for a fact that I've tried it twice, and I'm complete trash. So don't feel bad. Just join us. We're gonna give away Tokyo Saints NFTs. We're gonna give away Solana. There are gonna be a lot of prizes to everyone playing, or the winners, of course, not everyone. So join the pod and check out the announcement. You have all the information there. Also, Jack, welcome. What the fuck? Welcome up, Jack. You want to tell us about Hyper Launch also for tonight?
Hey guys. Very interesting conversation. I've been listening to it for the past 15 minutes. I'll probably listen to it later on Spotify and get a
You're a big
picture.
smoker as well, right?
Sorry?
You're a big smoker as well, right?
No, I haven't smoked in 7 years. Cannot stand that shit. Sorry. Personal. It's a personal opinion. Yeah, absolutely. Went to Amsterdam. Smoked for 3 straight days. The third day I was wondering, why am I smoking this shit? Just because I'm in Amsterdam? Threw it immediately. Never smoked ever again.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry. And plus I have to be alert most of the time. So yeah, Hyperlaunch. Hyperlaunch is one of the products by Chainbreakers. It's a permissionless launchpad. If you can set up your Instagram profile and edit your photos using filters, now you can launch your NFT collection. All you need is art or traits or 1F1. Just upload it, enter the details, click on the button, and there you go. A customized minting website according to your brand and style guide is ready for your minters to mint your collection. We do not help in marketing. We are not helpers. We are enablers. You need any tool, airdrop, to burning a collection, pre-reveal, post-reveal, anything. You can even iron your shirt if you want, in Metaverse if you want. For the future, not at this point. It's in development. We can take care of that. And guess what? You don't need our permission to launch a collection. You can do that right away. Happy days. That's the fully automation public beta is coming in 3 weeks because we're making our contract unbottable now. And if you need pre-minting services, we're just about to announce our partnership, which has been confirmed with CrowdSurf as well. So you can do pre-minting on CrowdSurf and you can mint on Hyperlaunch. Happy days.
Happy days. Perfect. Thank you, Jack. Let's see if high rollers might need a great launchpad here soon. So let's see if they're going to launch on Hyperlaunch or not. Perfect. All right. Let's end it. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you, everyone. And see you until next time. Take care.
Will we have the after party?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
You know,
I'm just checking. That's just really important.
So what, we get drunk. So what, we smoke weed. We're just having fun. We don't care who sees. So what, we go out. That's how it's supposed to be. Living young and wild and free.
So what? I keep it rolled up, sagging my pants, not caring what I show. Keep it real with my niggas, keep it playing for these hoes. And look clean, don't it? Watched it the other day, watch how you lean on it. Eat me some 501 jeans.
Shout out to
toys
Adam
bigger than
for the
King
fire
Kong's fingers
pod.
and smoke them hoes down to they stingers. You a class clown, and if I skip for the damn with your bitch smoking gray, it's like 17 again, peach fuzz on my face. Looking on the case, trying to find a hella taste. Oh my God, I'm on the chase. Chevy, it's getting kind of heavy. Irrelevant, selling it, dipping away. Time keeps slipping away. Zipping the safe, flipping for pay. Tipping like I'm dripping in paint. Up front, 4 blunts like a leaf. Put the wheat in the
So we get drunk. So what, we smoke weed. We're just having fun. We don't care who sees. So what, we go out. That's how it's supposed to be.